has the biggest per theatre gross for any film this year, which sounds very confusing, but also sounds brilliant.
Well, I'll tell you, I had no idea what all that stuff was until that happened. And now I'm like, biggest theater gross, throwing it around.
And that's in 5 theaters. We were only in 5 theaters for that first weekend, but...
So, yeah.
But it's very exciting still. But
So exciting.
Yeah.
We have a long way to go.
Yeah.
You do, but I mean, I'm sure it will get there because the word of mouth is spreading like wildfire. Why do you think that it's resonating so well with audiences?
Ooh, I wish I could answer that. It's hard.
I don't know. It's tough to know. I think, I mean, it is a very personal story, and we really, really wanted to make it very specific and our story.
But there are a lot of points of access for people if they want to connect to it. We've heard from people who have been through illness stuff, who have had family members who've been sick. We've heard from people in interracial couples. We've heard from nurses.
And just the idea of disappointing your parents is very universal. So I think, it's a bunch of different ways that people can connect to the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a lot there, actually. Now, when I'm thinking back to it, a lot there.
Oh, comedians, like starting comedians?
People like that. Or just the idea of like struggling to be successful in whatever realm you are. Falling in love with someone, getting to know someone, that's a very exciting time too.
It's a good date movie.
Yeah, it's a good date movie.
It's a good date movie.
Yeah.
I think you might get laid. I shouldn't say that.
Don't.
I shouldn't say that.
You can't guarantee
I
that.
can't, and I won't. I will not. But
Jeez.
maybe might make you feel more romantic.
Put that on the poster.
Yeah.
Award ceremonies, they usually are meant to award the best film of the best thing of that year, and in any year the Big Sick would be nominated for an Oscar, but seeing as it's a comedy, it's kind of like, it would be a shock. Do you think comedy faces more struggles than drama, for example? It's
interesting. I also don't know that comedy I feel like has always kind of existed outside of award ceremonies. It was, to me, it's never been about like, is this an award-winning comedy? Is this a comedy that people laugh at and quote to their friends? So I do think that, I don't know that comedy has been as interested always in getting awards, but I can't speak for all comedy movies. I've only made the one.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how growing up, I was always like, well, obviously that's not going to get nominated because those are for like the movies, the very serious
They're
movies.
for the people.
Comedy is for the people. But I don't know. I do kind of hope that's changing because I do feel like we have more movies now that are a mix of genres, which I think is really cool.
Well, that's the other thing. I feel like right now movies, there's a real effort to put movies into specific boxes, right? So like this is a comedy, this is a drama, and movies used to not be like that. Movies used to kind of be everything all at once. Like if you see Casablanca, that's a love story and a comedy and an action movie and a spy thriller. It's everything sort of together. So movies used to be more like that. They had everything, and now it's definitely like this is this. Sure. So I think that to me is the bigger issue with how movies are made, is people really trying to just make them one thing rather than sort of everything.
Yeah. If you could make another film about a later experience in your life, what would it be?
I gotta go.
What would it be? I think there's interesting stuff with us, sort of our lives getting intertwined and our families getting intertwined and all that.
We also moved to New York with literally no money, and I got a job that did not pay well, and Kumail was not making money. And we were so destitute. We had to like borrow money to pay rent all the time.
Yeah, from our friends. And so if you see the movie, in the last scene of the movie, imagine I'm very hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm already there. Yeah, because in reality, we moved to New York together, and we just were so broke. And I think that's the life of people who want to kind of pursue creative stuff in any big city. I'm sure that's true in London too. You move here and then you just find out where free food is and you go there all the time.
Yeah.
Not that I think we should make that movie at all, and maybe we'll stay away from making another super personal movie.
Yeah.
Maybe then, or maybe this actual experience of promoting this movie, and then you're in it.
You'll be in it.
Can I be in it?
Yeah, you can play yourself.
You're in it. We'll use this exact footage.
Sure, I can't wait for that.
We already started making the movie 3 minutes ago.
We were in pre-production, and now here we are.
Love that. And the film obviously is very deeply personal, but what I love is how willing you are to put yourselves on the line. For example, your Hugh Grant haircut.
Yep.
Yes.
That
amazing.
Yeah. It was great. My hair looked great. I'm going to go back to it.
I think you repped it well, mate.
It was great for then. I mean,
Yeah.
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 Good hair too.
Yeah, it's good.
and your love of the X-Files, was there anything that you that didn't make it into the film that you both were kind of
Yes.
surprised
Well-
about when you
Oh,
found
well,
out?
I mean, as far as references go, I have been trying to write RuPaul into everything that I've
Oh, right.
ever done. So any TV show I've worked on, I'm like always pitching, like, what if RuPaul shows up? And they're like, Emily, stop. So there was a storyline in the movie where Emily was really into RuPaul's Drag Race, and that was like a whole storyline, and Kumail uses stuff from RuPaul's Drag Race to try and like win her back. And it got cut out of the movie, and it should have. It definitely was extra, but RuPaul, please.
RuPaul.
Yeah.
Next film then.
I would love it. I would love to write a movie for RuPaul. Oh my god.
Have you even met RuPaul?
No.
Oh, so you've not
I'm
even
trying
met yet.
so hard.
We've missed RuPaul, where we would be somewhere and they were like, oh, RuPaul was just here, or like RuPaul's coming in 5 minutes, and we're like, we have to go. So it's been.
I've
it's
taken
almost-
meetings with this production company just so I can like, and they're like, well, that's his desk, and I'm like, where is he? Maybe someday.
Definitely something.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic for you. What about you? Was there any other things that?
I mean, he's done everything at this point. Do you want to tell him what happened last
No,
night?
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
I
tell
think
you
you should tell us what happened last night.
No.
Okay, no.
He'll tell you off camera.
It's been it's great. It really was like I don't know what else there is to do. It's really cool to be able to meet people who are your heroes who you've been a fan of your whole life. So it's been really fantastic, and I think that's the trick. If you make something, put in references to the stuff you love,
It helps.
and then you'll get to meet those people.
So that's why I keep
very
trying to put
exciting.
RuPaul in.
It's quite savvy, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to write a film just to meet my idols.
Yeah, you really
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. And considering that the film is so personal and inspired by your own story, were there any surprising influences that made it into the film, or that kind of factored into the writing of the film?
What overall was interesting is that we worked with two producers, Judd Apatow, Barry Mendel, and a director, Michael Showalter, who obviously we hadn't known during that time. We've known Showalter a long time, but and the fact that they were able to help us add so much to it. That's what's interesting. It goes from being
Right.
it's our story, but then it starts becoming their story too. Holly Hunter specifically brought a story. There's a story she tells in the movie about her dad, the plates that come from the gas station, and every time you get a fill up, you get another plate. That was completely from her life.
Right.
But when my own mother saw it, she was like, "How did you know about that we used to get plates from the gas station?" And I was like, "I didn't. That was completely Holly."
Yeah, so that's what was surprising, was in a great way, is that even though it's most obviously our story, it's also the story of all the actors and all the producers and the director, because everybody poured little bits of themselves into it. For instance, there's a scene where Ray Romano tells a joke about a giraffe, and that's Mike's father-in-law's favorite joke, Mike Showalter, the director. So everybody sort of poured
Put in their
themselves.
little tiny bits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really cool.
That was cool.
That's
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.